Bad nesters is nesters, and I don't like nesters.
They're ranchers now.
Oh, little pig, big pig, he's still a pig. I don't like ranchers or nesters or homesteaders or anybody else that messes up the ranges with a blasted fence.
That's where it began, that as a kid in the industrial northwest of England, my heroes were cowboys and I went to see cowboy movies. But I also looked beyond the principal characters and looked at the buildings and the buttes and the mesas, the landscape and the architecture behind them. And I suppose that was the beginning of an ongoing odyssey, artistic odyssey for me, to sort of find the source of that architecture, to find where it was. In the first instance, I thought I was probably going to have to look in places like Texas and Wyoming and New Mexico, etc. The places, you know, that had names, towns in them with names like Tombstone.
I didn't know they had such elegant music in Hillman. Want to get a sarsaparilla and listen?
We were supposed to get a local color story.
Well, this is local color, isn't it? Oh, come on.
Oh.
Alan Wood grew up in the heart of industrial England and longed for the wide open spaces of Hollywood westerns. He found them in British Columbia's Caribou Country, and soon cowboys and ranch forms became major themes in his work.
When Alan Wood decided to build a huge walk-in painting in an actual landscape, he searched for months to find the perfect site, the Rocky Mountain Ranch, an idyllic scene 23 miles southwest of Calgary. Wood's three-dimensional painting, as he calls it, includes painted barns, corrals, haystacks, windmills, a snake fence, and a bridge. There's also a piece called Ranch Henge, named after Stonehenge. The work began months ago in a Burnaby studio. Alan Wood insists that an artist use canvas, so he and his colleagues painstakingly wrapped 60,000 yards of it around 150,000 feet of lumber. Then they applied 1,200 gallons of brightly colored paint, non-toxic, in case animals wandered in and began licking the fence posts. Alan Wood believes that nature and art can coexist quite happily and on a grand scale. And what better symbol of that coexistence can there be than this one? A 30-foot wood and canvas cowboy on a horse, painted blue and set very dramatically in the middle of a prairie.
Earlier, Barbara talked to Mr. Wood on ranch in the foothills of the Rockies.
Prove to you I'm a man.
Alan Wood, what does a visitor to ranch feel? Are you trying to surround him, or do you want the viewer to walk into the picture?
Yes, exactly. It is a walk-in experience, rather like Alice Through the Looking Glass, where instead of me creating an illusion on a flat canvas, I have taken many of the symbols that I normally deal with in my paintings and allow the viewer to walk into the picture and around them. And at the same time, this gives me the opportunity to make a lot of visual puns and to have this feeling of incredible joyousness where I have my colors, which are non-associative colors, very, very bright, joyous colors, surrounded by the constantly changing element of nature. What I put into it is static, and the exciting thing is that what nature is being kinetic. It's constantly moving and changing.
Here I have this opportunity to extend these forms, build these forms in the landscape, and make this color statement, and it will be there over the seasons. That there will be a constantly changing event around the piece itself. The color of the piece will be basically fairly static, though it will alter and weather and fade and change. But there will be dramatic changes in the landscape itself, the seasonal changes, from the parched, arid colors of summer, and then finally to the coming of the snow. And it's literally back to the drawing board. Here's color on white paper, white canvas, this massive 320-acre canvas. This painting is about color, and this is about color in the landscape.